Howdy folks, for today's video I just wanted to do a short quick video talking about and showing off a new mold that I got. This one is made from NOE and it is the HTC454-115-FN-CH2 mold. And this one is a 4-cavity and it's hollow base. And so for those of you who are not familiar with hollow base molds, that basically, if you've used one of the NOE hollow point molds, it's built the same way, but the bullet is inverted. So you are, so instead of having the hollow point pins coming up and making a hollow point of the nose, it is the base that you are making a hollow base, and you have the nose on top. So the reason I'm excited about this particular mold is that I was at the shop when Al was, I was basically talking with Al about a previous mold, which was a hollow base 110 grain, and I was, we were talking about if you could get that to cycle in a lever gun, and there were, questions of the ability, if it was possible to cycle that, because it's a shorter, the nose is really short and stubby. So after we were talking about how it'd be cool to do one that had a hollow base as well, but had the regular shaped nose of, like a classic 255 grain, regular 45 Colt bullet, so that it could cycle in the lever actions, feed and function properly, but still have that low lead and expanding hollow base. We thought that would just be really cool. So he drew up a design, and he had produced the mold, or cut the molds, but he was in the process of making the hollow point or hollow base pins for it. And that's where I started talking to him about how it would be cool if he could include one additional set of hollow base pins. Now usually on a typical hollow point mold, he will do like a flat point and he'll do the hollow point. Sometimes he'll do like a cut point and a deeper hollow point, but that's specific to the mold and the design. But I wanted to do something similar, but what the idea behind that would be is to use a shorter hollow base, a shorter flat hollow base pin, and because of that you could do and make it just so it came out to like 250 or 255, so it would match the regular 255 grain 45 Colt style bullets. And so even though they were working on the pins, then he went back and drew up a set of pins that, and calculated it so that it would produce a 255 grain full size, non-hollow base bullet, and then the short flat base bullet, and then the short hollow base bullet. And I think the bullet weights are, the hollow base ones are 115 grains. The same profile, but with a flat base pin, or plain base pin, whatever, those ones produce a bullet that weighs 150 grains. And then, like I said before, the shorter pins that are flat, they produce a 255 grain bullet. So anyways, let's switch camera angles, and you can see as I open this up and see what I'm talking about. Alright, so here we have the mold. You can see the hollow base pins are here, or the pins, the RG pins are right here. You got 4 of the long ones, which will produce the shorter projectile, and then you got 4 short pins, which will produce the larger bullet. So here we have it, nice and shiny, and it comes, it's kind of cool, you can see that gives me all kinds of ideas for, like, if you were to get some blank pins and machine your own to be like different bullet weights, that'd be kind of cool to be able to go from like a, you know, maybe a 200 grain. So you go with the 115 or 150, and then a little bit longer to do a 200 grain, and then a little bit longer to do the, you know, 255. And if you could go, you know, make a little bit longer bullet and go with a, I don't know, like a 300 grain 45 Colt bullet, or, you know, you could shoot it in something else like a 450 Bushmaster or something. But that would be really cool. But this mold is pretty cool as is. And I've actually, before I got mine, I was able to borrow I borrowed Al's at the NOE shop, and I was doing some casting in their casting room. And I put, you know, that's backwards, sorry. So I put one of these in, and then a hollow base. I think I had 2 hollow base, and then I did like the short one, which makes the big bullet. And anyways, let me show you real quick what the bullets look like. Okay, so here we have the projectiles, and starting off with this one. This is a clear coated, powder coated hollow base. Comes in about 115 grains. And I thought these would be really cool for just revolver fluffy loads, you know, just a 115 grain to plink steel, you know, cowboy action shooting type thing. And for those of you concerned about like the driving surface, I think it starts right about here. So you got about, you know, from fingernail to fingernail amount of driving surface. And anyways, so this seems like this would be really cool for like, you know, even like a revolver or lever gun, just a little pop gun load. And then going on to, you know, the next weight up, this also is powder coated, and I just used a gray powder coat. This one is with just the regular flat base pins that were the same length as these ones right here. And it comes out to be about 150 grains. So that's cool. And then this is a clear coated. And by the way, this mold is designed to make projectiles that you have to coat because of, you know, I guess, you know, you might be able to do one with a lube groove that was pretty big to support like the different lengths of bullets, but this one is designed to be coated and makes quite a pretty 255 grain bullet mold, or projectile bullet. And so, you know, if you are wanting to cast some standard size 250s or 255s, you just load these up, and all you got to do to change those is undo these screws right here, pull it out, and then it slides in right here and slides out. And now the one caveat, or I guess it's not really a caveat, but one thing you'll want to make sure that you do, I did a tips and tricks video on how to cast with hollow point molds, but YouTube of course deleted that a long time ago. But what you'll want to do is, you know, after you drop the new, when you're casting, you know, you pour and then you cut it. Then what you'll want to do is just after you get those off, you want to make sure that these pins are in the bottommost position, because if you let them go up, then of course you're going to be casting a shorter bullet. So always make sure that the pins, you know, you can just kind of give it a shake when you're casting before you close the mold. Yeah, that way your projectiles will all be uniform length and consistent. Now another thing, when I was casting, and I've never really had this happen before, but I had not, after I changed these RG pins out, then I had not I didn't tighten these a couple of the screws very tight, and as I was casting it would get a little bit looser and looser, and so, you know, it's kind of like starting there and then getting a little bit bigger. So a couple of the projectiles are a little bit longer, and so I needed to sort those out. And they're still probably totally shootable and everything, but you know, it's best to reload with a consistent length and weight. So just a quick tip on that, you know, make sure that the pins are in the bottommost position. But yeah, as you can see, this one's a brand new mold. I haven't scrubbed the cavities, heat cycled, you know, give it a little bit of smoke or anything. So I will need to do that, but I am really excited about this mold and, you know, these various projectiles and the ability to, it's almost like three molds in one, you know, with the ability to do a hollow base, you know, flat base, lightweight, and then a flat base, heavyweight bullet. So super excited. I hope to have some videos coming up soon that have some casting in it. I will not be able to share those here on YouTube, but I will be able to share them here on Rumble. So if for those of you who have not subscribed to my channel on Rumble, you'll want to do that. I'm gonna try and get back into the making instructional casting videos, and you know, in order to do that, I got to do it on Rumble or a different platform because YouTube is really sucking these days. YouTube with their latest set of rules, I believe. Besides, I mean, we already have learned that you can't pour lead into a mold. That's so lame and is just stupid. That, you know. Yeah. Anyways, we won't go into that because that'll just make my mood a little bit sour, and I could go off on that for days. But yes, I think with some of their latest changes, you can't show inserting a magazine. You can't put a suppressor on. You can't put a scope on a gun. There's all these things that if you show the process, then they say you are modifying a firearm, and somehow that makes it more dangerous or deadly or whatever. But basically, YouTube is losing its draw, I would say, you know, to make videos for YouTube. It's getting harder and harder to make videos on YouTube. I want to just, if I could get everybody to switch over to Rumble, I would just stop YouTube altogether. But I have more people viewing the videos on YouTube, so I guess while they permit me and while I am able to, I'll keep trying to produce the videos on YouTube, but they will be definitely stripped down, edited, censored, whatever. So if you want to see the good stuff, probably go to Rumble, and at some point I'm gonna just start making better videos on Rumble and the maybe summary videos on YouTube. So anyways, super excited about this mold. Sorry for the long drawn out blah 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 about the woes of YouTube, but yeah, I will hope to have a video on this at some point, and then some videos reloading and shooting too. So take care, stay safe, and catch you in the next video.